here's the intel. We got intel. Isom mentioned it earlier in Block A, but I'm gonna give it to you guys in scripture. 2 Timothy 3, 1 through 5. I'm reading this out of the King James Version. All right, it says, but know this, that in the last days, perilous times will come. For men will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, unloving, unforgiving, slanderers, without self-control, brutal, despisers of good, traitors, headstrong, haughty, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having a form of godliness but denying its power. And from such people, he's got an exclamation mark, turn away. Turn away. So do you guys believe that's intel?
That's right.
Hey, is the intel, is it good intel?
Very good.
Straight.
How do we know it's good intel? Isom, how do we know that's good intel?
Because we see it right before our eyes. You know what I'm saying? One thing I like what Christ said, he said, I tell you these things before they happen. So when they happen, you'll believe that I am he. That's a test of a true prophet. And so we see these things happen. That's how I was telling some friends of mine. I was like, man, my faith is so much stronger now because I'm literally seeing.
There you go.
What the Bible said would happen right in front of my face. Right. That's why it boggles my mind how someone can say, well, they're departing from the faith. It's like you're seeing what it says. So the intel is spot on in terms of what we're going to be seeing. And again, this is talking to, if I'm reading it correctly, it's talking about so-called believers right here. You know what I mean? Well, it's talking about the world in general, but there's another part where he says some shall depart from the faith.
Right.
These seducing spirits. So the world is supposed to act like all these things described here. But what's going to really be tough is seeing that those who name the name of Christ are doing these things, co-signing these things, advocating for these things as well. So that intel is spot on. And that last part is what some struggle with. It says, from such turn away.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, especially the kind of the Christian mindset is, well, the church is a hospital, and don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. We're supposed to be a hospital. I'm a cancer survivor, so I spent a lot of time in a hospital. But when that doctor first told me I had cancer, I said, you know what? I'm not taking that chemotherapy. He looked at me. He was like, but you could die. I said, yeah, but I'm not taking that. That was my initial response. And I'll never forget him looking at me, and he said, He said, okay. And I got up and walked away. He didn't come and grab me. He didn't come and say, well, you can just have a room in the hospital, you know what I'm saying, until you get your mind right. He said, look here, if you're not going to take the treatment, I've clearly laid out to you, you can die. I've laid out to you the ramifications of you waiting. If you're not going to take the treatment, then you need to go ahead and leave the hospital. This is a place for those who want to be treated. You understand what I'm saying? So when we look at this notion that the church is a hospital, yes, but that does not mean that you allow people who have made it clear, I don't want the treatment, to remain in the hospital. That's not a hospital. That's something else. So I think that when we look at this, it's definitely good intel, but all of it is good intel, including that part that says, from such, what such? Those who have shown a pattern, not those who make a mistake. We're not talking about that. We're talking about those who have made it clear, this is how I'm gonna live.
Right.
From such, turn away. They gotta go. Don't mean we don't love you. Don't mean you can't come back. But a hospital is for those who have agreed to at least work with the doctors, to at least take the pill, to at least abide by the constraints of what a hospital is for. That intel is spot on. It's spot on.